He is the peripatetic guest popping up daily on cable and network news and even on late-night TV. He is Michael Avenatti, attorney to porn actress Stormy Daniels, a man who says he is determined to see the truth about President Trump come out. No question he is good TV, but is he newsworthy?
I think it's going to be a circus.
If you don't know his name by now, you are likely one of those people who has intentionally tuned out.
Michael Avenatti, Stormy Daniels' attorney, joins us now. Michael, thanks so much for being here.
Michael Avenatti, Stormy Daniels' attorney, joins us.
Over the past several weeks, Michael Avenatti has made dozens of TV appearances, even allowing cameras to follow him as he and his client, Stormy Daniels, headed to a court appearance.
So called over to Judge Woods and explained that we're bringing our client with us and we want to just chat if there's a way to get in and out more easily.
And he's hit the comedy circuit, too.
He's not only the attorney who represents Stormy Daniels, he's Donald Trump's worst nightmare.
While he has stumbled on a few facts, including confusing Donald Trump's attorney with another attorney named Michael Cohen, Michael Avenatti has stayed relentlessly on point.
Michael Cohen is going to be indicted. I believe that ultimately he will be forced to resign.
But it took Bill Maher to ask the question, is all this really newsworthy?
It's actually not what polls say people care about. They care about health care, which doesn't get a lot of coverage. They care about the tax cut, which doesn't get a lot of coverage.
Regardless, if it's a game to keep the press interested, Avenatti is winning. Much the way President Trump himself is winning when it comes to playing the press. And like Trump, Avenatti boasts of things to come.
And again, I think we've only scratched the surface.
From your mouth to the press's ear. Well, that's really the key, the secret to his success, is that from the beginning, even on 60 Minutes, he promised more. He tweeted out a picture of that CD, which suggests that maybe there was a recording made of Stormy Daniels and Donald Trump. He says he has released things piecemeal. He was the one who uncovered the connection with that Russian oligarch and Donald Trump's attorney, Michael Cohen, he's kept the news cycle going. But there are days that it's been incredibly repetitive. But and let's face it, he's so sharp and articulate, and he's got a biting sense of humor at the same time. He makes for good TV.
Well, what he came out with this past week was huge.
Yes.
That document showing possible connection with the idea that. Whether directly or indirectly, President Trump may have used Russian money to pay off Stormy Daniels is just amazing. There was a phrase that was used at one time called the full Ginsburg. And the full Ginsburg was when Monica Lewinsky's lawyer, William Ginsburg, went on all 5 or 6 Sunday shows.
Show, one after the other.
One after another after another. Well, Michael Avenatti has done the full Ginsburg and then some.
Yeah.
He does it every day.
He's used the term, too, the full Monty, more than once.
Yeah, you wonder when he has time to practice law.
It is worrisome to me, though, the way the press is sort of, rolling out the red carpet and letting him say things in the moment. I had MSNBC on the night that he tweeted about the Russian oligarchs. This was before the story had played out and been verified. And I think it was Ari Melber on MSNBC going, we have a breaking allegation. We haven't verified it, but it's a break. And I was like, this is what we're doing now. We're going to just report the tips as they come in. Yeah. I mean, it was actually kind of horrifying.
Yeah.
And I mean, he knows how to get attention, and then they just report it in the stream. Yeah. It's awful.
I'm trying to think of what the alternatives would be if Michael Avenatti wasn't sucking up all the screen time that he has been. And I'm not sure there's anything out there that would be more newsworthy, right? I mean, there are a lot of people who spend a lot of time on the airwaves who have absolutely nothing to say. And as egregious as what you're talking about is, they obviously should not be doing that. You shouldn't run with an untested allegation that way. I don't know. I mean, switch him out for what? I don't know. The caveat here is that I never watch his appearances because I only check in on cable TV when we're doing a segment on it. And I, learn about it after the fact.
I wish I had that bad habit.
I don't know what the alternative is, really.
Switch him out for cat videos.
Yeah.
Well, cat videos can be cute, good, fun, yeah.
So I was watching, as it turns out, MSNBC the night that the first report
came out about the money, this new round of money, and it wasn't all of it because they had the figures wrong for AT&T and Novartis. They were too low at the time. And they got him on
the money that they were paying to
the money that was being paid to the
shell company
to
created by Cohen.
Thank you for explaining what I'm trying to say. Anyway, the point is he was already booked on a show that night. And so they said to him, "What do you think about this?" And he said, "I'm not often speechless, but I'm speechless." And he started talking, which I thought, boy, he's good. I mean, he's just.
He really is.
I mean, but it is really, come on, people. We need to be a little bit more circumspect. I mean, and all laughter aside, about how he's used in these conversations. And you can tell that story if you want to tell that story. He didn't have to be sitting there on 50,000 different saying the same thing over and over again, because one thing you're not going to do is get him to go off his point. He is not going to blow something for his client. So it becomes really repetitive and crazy.
Well, it is very similar to the way Trump behaved during the
Yes,
campaign,
absolutely.
where he was on all the time, and he'd call from his car, and he'd call from his plane, and no matter what, if he called, they'd put him on, and it didn't matter what he said because they knew it was interesting and engaging when he was on.
Well, he's following the model, I think.
Yeah, that's the point I made.
Yeah,
I mean, I want to respond to something Adam said, that, well, I don't know who else they'd put on or what else they would do. Well, in terms of what we've come to think of as cable news, you're absolutely right. But that doesn't make it newsworthy. I mean, what cable news does is not inherently newsworthy. It's just, what can we talk about that will hold an audience?
So does anybody think the Stormy Daniels things has been over-talked about? Is it?
Yes.
Well,
I don't.
remember saying on Beat the Press, I believe, I got to confess, I just can't get interested in this story.
Really?
It establishes something that we already knew. It turns out that I was completely wrong about that. I mean, this revelation about the shell company, as Dan said, is huge, important stuff. It could have been what Avenatti was referring to when he said, I think that this is going to end up bringing Trump down. I don't know. But, I mean, that's, so I no longer think the Stormy Daniels story was worthless because it's led us here.
And then to listen to those companies, this is a PR nightmare, what they have said to explain why they have given AT&T $1.3 million. As Rachel Maddow helpfully explained, they started paying him before they met him.
Don't they get about that much from the five of us each year?
Yeah, right. Oh, my God. It's just crazy.